Thank you very much. Please be seated.
Bismillah.
Now, I'd like to plead with you to please do this in search of a seamless event.
In the country and even beyond the Nigerian shores. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I therefore would like to seek your permission to go straight to the speech I have before me, which of course will form the crux of our meeting today. I thank you all for preparing to listen, and I will go ahead to read. With me, like I said, is a prepared speech to be presented this morning as my formal intention to declare, to vie and run for the election of the Speakership of the 10th House of Representatives of the National Assembly, which very soon we expect it to be proclaimed. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today for the formal declaration of intention to vie for the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives in the forthcoming 10th Assembly. My gratitude to Almighty Allah for enabling me to serve my country for 3 decades now, and to the people who have supported me throughout this journey, especially my constituents who have shown me support and brought me to where I am today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, after my declaration as winner of the supplementary election and subsequent issuance of a certificate of return, I have consulted widely and been approached by many Nigerians, mostly my colleagues, who urged me to declare my intention to contest for the Speakership of the House of Representatives in the 10th Assembly. They believe I'm among the qualified candidates for the job, not just because I'm deserving, but because I have the capacity and the experience to deliver on the expectations of millions of Nigerians who believe that our democracy must be led by competent and experienced hands and leaders. Fellow Nigerians, I am a strong and committed party man and have stated it categorically clear in other fora, and here I want to repeat that because of my absolute loyalty to the party, the APC, and my unflinching respect for the party's supremacy, my ambition will be predicated only on the condition that the party zones the speakership position to the Northwest Zone, which is my immediate political constituency. I have realized that it is necessary to heed the call of the people who believe in my capacity and to seek the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I am committed to working with my colleagues and all Nigerians to deliver on their expectations and to preside over the House to the best of my ability and in the overall interest of the people of Nigeria. I have paid my dues. I want to repeat, I have paid my dues. It is time to reward my stewardship to both the Parliament and the nation. Kindly permit me to take you a little down memory lane. That in 2011 to 2015, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, had majority in the House and controlled the leadership in that dispensation, while Honorable Femi Bajabiamila was nominated by the Southwestern Caucus of their minority leader to be the minority leader. From 2015 to 2019, when our great party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, formed majority in the House, it was also natural that the minority leader transit to majority leadership position. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, with due respect to my colleagues and due respect with the tradition of the House and the Parliament, if you will recall, then the moment this convention was proposed, I personally agreed to step down from the majority leader position, which I was earlier tipped for, and settle for the chief whip position to give room for Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila to assume the position of majority leader of the 8th House of Representatives. Fast forward to 2019-2023, 9th Assembly, in keeping pace with the convention of the House, when the speakership position was also zoned to the southwestern part of this country, it was only natural that my brother and good friend, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, the then majority leader, was the only one adopted for the speakership position. That is now history. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my respected colleagues, there is a lot to learn from this brief narrative. Our superlative speaker has been in the House since 2003 till date and rose through the ranks to become what he is today. To be very specific, to become the Speaker of the 9th House of Representatives, a very able and amiable Speaker of our great House. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we cannot sweep under the carpet the cognate legislative experience, the requisite parliamentary background, and interpersonal relationship with his colleagues, developed and nurtured over his almost 20 years sojourn in the House, has been manifested in his leadership style and prowess in the 9th Assembly. I am tempted to ask you this very good question. Is history trying to repeat itself? I believe the answer is obviously yes. Just like our Speaker, I'm also serving out my 5th term in the House of Representatives. I have served as Chief Whip, House of Representatives 2015 to 2019, and currently Majority Leader of the House of Representatives, working very harmoniously with my Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. By the special grace of God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I stand out as the oldest serving member from the Northwest Zone in the House, and with the support of my colleagues, I am the leader of the Northwest and the leader of the APC caucus in the current House of Representatives. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to believe, God willing, I will be the Speaker that will see through the implementation of the Renewed Hope 2023 Action Plan for a Better Nigeria, anchored by our amiable father, tested President-elect Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I will leave no stone unturned to galvanize the support of the House to ensure the actualization of the laudable programs and policies of the President-elect, our daddy, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration. I plead with my colleagues from the zone, specifically, and to extend to me, that they should extend to me as a privilege, not by right, the same Gbajabiamila treatment, because as the saying goes, what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, every 4 years, a new leadership is elected in the National Assembly to lead the 2 chambers of the Assembly. The 9th House of Representatives, led by Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, has done a commendable job in ensuring fruitful legislative sessions throughout its tenure, to which I have contributed immensely. I am humble and enthusiastic about the numerous calls from Nigerians to lead the institution they believe I have vast experience in. And I believe it is time for me to answer this great clarion call. If I may digress a little from the draft, I want to borrow the humble example and the very humble words of the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that MLA con. MLA con. As far as I'm concerned, and as far as the institution of the legislature is concerned, I want to borrow his words humbly, that MLA con, that it is my turn this time around. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my mission statement will definitely be pondered on the quest to strengthen the role of Parliament towards effective representation while restoring the public confidence and participation in governance by way of facilitating, coordinating, monitoring, and evaluating strategies for public involvement in governance and in government businesses to ensure that the House conducts its business in a transparent and accountable manner where every member of the House is held responsible and accountable by the people he represents. Of course, we have to map out strategy as to how to go about achieving some of this mission statement. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my respected colleagues, I believe with your support, we will strategize to initiate and formulate legislative bills considering the needs and aspirations of the people. Monitor the country's development strategy through oversight of the National Planning Commission. Coordinate, monitor, and evaluate the various sectoral policies and programs for efficient and effective performance through periodic oversight engagements by our standing committees. I believe our robust members who have come from different backgrounds of lives will have the ability to deliver on the performances of those standing committees. We will also work towards ensuring that timely tabling of government business on the floor of the Parliament is ensured. Monitor and evaluate the implementation of plans, programs, and strategies. Facilitate the review and promulgation of legislation and regulations for national development. We will insist to undertake such research as may be necessary to enhance the collaboration between Parliament and other arms of government. This is very key and critical because the legislature alone cannot form the government. The executive arm of government is also only a component of the government, but the collaboration and the working together of the three arms of government is what provides an effective and responsive government. We will facilitate the development and implementation of citizen-centered collaboration, collaborative interface with other state and non-state actors on matters relating to the legislature. We will also provide strategic leadership for the development of the medium-term plan of Parliament in consultation with National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. Distinguished ladies and members of the press, our style of leadership will always be an all-inclusive style of leadership. I believe we are going to operate on a platform or an institution that will have at heart the principle of first among equals. For me, we are equal. I don't even believe that we have first among ourselves. We are equals because all of us have come from our respective constituencies to represent our good people in the capacity that we are meant to do based on the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is therefore my conviction and commitment that if elected the Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives, we will ensure cohesion and harmonious working relationships among the three arms of government. I believe that as a seasoned legislator, and I am uniquely positioned to unite and stabilize the House, while creating an avenue for all actors to play vital and critical roles to stabilize the polity. I am determined to work according to the principle of checks and balances among all sectors to ensure that the House conducts its business for the people and by the people's representatives. My vision is obviously to lead a House that is committed to promoting good governance, transparency, and accountability in all legislative processes and undertakings. We will also ensure that every Nigerian, irrespective of their social class, creed, or background, has a voice and is represented conspicuously in the House and by extension in the National Assembly. I envision a House that is responsible and responsive to the needs of Nigerians and is committed to delivering quality legislation that will have positive impact on the lives of our great people in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, my tenure will obviously rekindle hope, answer many unanswered questions, and uphold all the ideals that this House is charged by the Constitution to preserve and protect. I will ensure justice for all. I want to repeat, I will ensure justice for all. Domestic tranquility, promote the general welfare of all members, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, so that children born today and those yet unborn will live into the next century, and our decisions will determine their very good future. We shall promote the freedom of press. My brothers, we will promote the freedom of press. I want to repeat, we will promote the freedoms of press and will ensure the post-estate of the RIM, which is an institution as well, operates and works without any let or hindrance as far as the legislative institution and by extension, the polity is concerned. I want to repeat at this moment off record that I'm a proud member of the media, and I will remain a proud member of the media. I will in fact look at the media as my secondary constituency while I serve as the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I have enjoyed working with Mr. Speaker. I mean the Speaker of the 9th House of Representatives, my boss, my friend in court. I call him a friend in court because when you have a boss, he cannot be a friend again. But I call him a friend because he's an amiable leader and he's humble. He doesn't mind when I keep on calling him a friend, a friend, a friend. And I want to repeat today, my friend, Femi Bajabiamila, in achieving historic feats in the passage of several bills, including the Petroleum Industry Bill, which by history you may all recall that in the 8th Assembly, I chaired the committee on the Petroleum Industry Bill. And today in the 9th House of Representatives, as leader of the House, I led debate because it came as an executive bill from the government of President Muhammadu Buhari. We have succeeded in entrenching that as a legislation, and I'm proud to be a party to that legislative process. My dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians, it is therefore I have no greater official honor for me than to stand today here before you, ladies and gentlemen, Nigerians, and declare my intention to serve as next Speaker of the House of Representatives in the 10th National Assembly, and I so declare. My respected colleagues, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to participate in a hallmark of our republic, a peaceful and orderly transition from one administration to the other, let us consider trusting the leadership of the House to a more competent personality that will promote a functional and effective legislature that will deliver quality legislations for the betterment of Nigeria and Nigerians as well. With the support and cooperation of my colleagues, members of the 10th House of Representatives, I am confident that we can achieve this together. May I once again urge members of the 10th House of Representatives to make the right choice by supporting my aspiration to lead the House in this dispensation. When I say to lead the House in this dispensation, for clarity, not in my capacity as leader of the House, but this time in a capacity to preside over the House as Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives. I will not end this speech, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if I do not make reference to the words of the current American President, Joe Biden, while addressing his countrymen, and he said, "Fellow countrymen," I quote, "I close today where I began, with a sacred oath. Before God and all of you, I give you my word. I will always level with you. I will defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in this case. I will defend our democracy. I will defend our country. I will give my all in your service, thinking not of power, but of possibilities, not of personal interest, but of the public good. And together we shall write our country's story of hope, not fear, and of unity and not division. I thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria." My good members of the Fourth Estate of the Rim, my respected colleagues, members of the 10th, and members of the 9th House, and those who will serve with me in the 10th House of Representatives, God willing, I want to start by saying that I will speak very sincerely, and I will speak very honestly with you on virtually all the questions you have asked me. Of course, within the context of what the law permits. The first question is the issue of my temperament. I want to believe, even though I'm not a medical doctor, I'm also not a psychologist, but as a politician, I want to believe that every man is a political animal, and one could be subjected to one disposition or another. The issue of temperament, just like Habu rightly said, is about perception. What someone may have perceived as high temperament obviously will be one will perceive it otherwise. But for someone like me, who has been in the parliamentary standing right from the 4th of July, 1992 till date, having successfully and successfully securing the mandate of my people, the confidence of my people to continue to represent them in this very exalted capacity as member of the House of Representatives. I forgot I would have brought to you my 7 different writs of return, certificate of return, to show to you here as track record. I want to believe that primarily my constituents do not judge me as someone who has high temperament. But that is notwithstanding, someone else may see me as such. But for me, I want to say that to the best of my ability, to the best of my knowledge, that I am a low-level person, humble, with all sense of respect to my colleagues and even beyond. Grace, the president or the chairman of the press corps of the National Assembly, I guess she's here. When they had an occasion to give a word of honor to serving members of the House based on their peculiar performances and disposition, both personal and psychological. Despite the long time I have served in the House, the press corps decided to give me a very special honor, a word of honor, and called me what? Grace. They gave me the title of the Caesarean of the House, the one who keeps the House lively, the one who keeps the House moving. And with my background, not only with my relationship, based on my relationship with the constituents that continuously brought me to the House, with my background as someone who has led various committees within and outside Nigeria, legislative committees, and succeeded in becoming a leader by track example, chairman of the Interparliamentary Body on Millennium Development Goals of the whole African region, chaired and led various legislative delegations outside Nigeria successfully, became the chief whip of the House of Representatives, and I guess you all know what chief whip means. I did not for any reason dare to cheaply whip by high temperament. I never did that. I have done that successfully. And that was what gave me the automatic clearance by my colleagues, respected colleagues, members of the 10th House of Representatives, when the time now came for upliftment, when the time came for upgrade. They automatically upgraded me without any contest. The press can testify to that, as the leader of the 9th House of Representatives. And so I am today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my respected Nigerians, especially my colleagues that are here, I am not high-headed. I'm a low-level Nigerian, and I will be as such. I am a low-level Nigerian, and I will always present myself as such. Perception, yes, but there's issue of perception, and you can have misperception. So for those who refer to me as a high-level temperamental person, I want to say, by my judgment and my standing, that they're misperceiving Doguwa. The man who has 4 wives, 28 kids in his house, and I've never had a divorce. I had never divorced any one of them. I'm still working well with them in good relationship. I can say that it's only a mistake. It is only a mistake and a misperception if somebody calls the very Ado before you. It can only be a misperception or an oversight. It can only be a misperception or an oversight or lack of proper comprehension if anybody places someone of my disposition, of my social stature, as a high-level person. I'm never a high-level person. I'm low-level. I will be on the carpet for members to march on. I will be on the carpet for Nigerians to march on. I will not rise here wanting to serve in the capacity of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, an institution that is known to be keeping the custody of Nigerian laws and the judiciary itself, to now act in a matter that could be sub judice. But I want to say clearly at this point that, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the principle, the legal principle, the judicial principle, that the principle of presumption of innocence until one is proven guilty covers me. And it does not stop me whatsoever to vie for a position that I know I eminently qualify to vie for. I want Nigerians to join me in prayers. I want Nigerians to join me in prayers. My colleagues to also join me in prayers, so that by God's grace, we will get to know the truth of the matter. But one political point I must stress is that a guilty man who is charged for a case like this would not have gone for a supplementary election and won the way and manner I won my election. This rerun was conducted in that immediate local government, that particular local government, not even my home local government. Tudunwada local government was where I had my rerun covering 13 polling units. I went back to the same good people of Tudunwada, offered myself, presented myself, canvassed for 7,000 outstanding votes. And at the end, these people said, "You remain our ambassador, carry go." Carry go. So with due respect to the court, and without prejudicing the position of the law, I want to believe that I have obtained a public and political clearance from my people, that I'm still a worthy ambassador of my people, having won the election again at the supplementary election, even when my state was unfortunately captured by what we call the political tsunami. My area was a no-go zone. My zone was no-go zone. God protected it for me. My people protected it for me. And I rise to be proud today to tell you that of the whole of my 16 senatorial local government, the 16 senatorial local governments of the Kano South Senatorial District, God in His mercy, with due respect to my colleagues that come from that area, I am the only member elected to the 10th House of Representatives. Not only elected, elected with a flying color. Elected by landslide. When I went for the supplementary election covering 13 local government, the result was marvelous. I am before you today here as a member-elect to the 10th House of Representatives, which of course provide the basis for me to go for this speakership race. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the other question is about the presence of my good member here, the lady I call the Iron Lady of the southeastern part of the country, Princess Marian. Princess Marian is one that we refer to the mother of the house. We have one in the north, and we have one mother in the south, and she's no other than Marian. She is one that relates with everyone. I remember yesterday, part of my consultation effort, we jumped at one point, went to consult a member that is also contesting for the speakership. I met her there trying to reach out to the same person, and at the end we joined hands together, met that person together. The belief is that whether, no matter what happens, we cannot do it alone. I cannot do it alone. If she gets the chance to be, she cannot do it alone. The man we met yesterday is one of the very prominent members, one of the very prominent members vying for the office of the speakership. I think to put for the record is Honorable Ibrahim Betara. I met him. We discussed. We agreed that the issue is about the institution. And the issue is about what at the end members would like to consciously elect as their leaders. So I want to believe Right Honorable Marian is here under this guise, and she's here consciously to prove to the nation and to prove to the world that she is a friendly contestant to the office of the House of Representatives, to the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And we are not fighting. We are not fighting. We are only conversing for what everyone feels he has the right to do it. And we will always be guided, strictly guided, by the provisions and the pronouncements of our great party, the leaders of the party. That is why I said in my speech that my ambition is basically hinged and predicated on the ground that this position is zoned to my immediate political zone, the Northwest zone. And I want to believe Marian is also of the same school of thought. Same school of thought. At the end of my submission, I will allow Mariam to speak for herself since she's here. And the question is directly bordering on her. But I feel what I've said is also true of Mariam. Mariam, I'm proud that you're here. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Last question is the question of the Muslim ticket. For me, my brother from the Vanguard newspaper, I think he's from the Vanguard, that short and tall, fair boy, he used to be my friend. But when there was a tsunami turnover in Kano, he turned over to the other side. I don't know what happened. I will reach out to him to make him a friend once again. My brother, the question perhaps is quite a big question for me. I am into a system where we respect institutions and leadership. This is a question that should have been directed perhaps to the president-elect, but at the moment it's not even a question for the president-elect since the ticket has been widely and popularly accepted. So if you have a question still lingering around the concept of Muslim ticket, I think every Nigerian, even on the street, can give you that answer, that Nigeria has come of age. Nigeria has gone beyond the issue of tribal inclinations, cultural or religious inclinations. And I think it's good for us to have that kind of disposition when Nigeria will now begin to look at ourselves as one and united people. I think the Muslim ticket of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Senator Kashim Shettima was like a litmus test. And I think it's a positive test. It has tested Nigerians, and we have now confirmed that Nigerians will only go by what they think is the best and in the best interest of the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But I still want to say that I believe in the peaceful coexistence of our people. left, right, and center. I believe in our unity, despite our diversity. I believe that no one can do it alone without the other. So when I'm elected the Speaker of the House of Representatives, I will be a speaker for the Muslims and for the Christians. I will be the speaker. I will be a speaker also for even those who are not Christians and are not Muslims, because we are operating a normal and a kind of a normal democracy that is being practiced in other places, where reference are not made to your religious, cultural, or tribal background. I want to assure Nigerians they will have in me just a Nigerian that will look after the overall interest of our people and to the best of my ability. I thank you all for finding time to be here, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you, and God bless you.